Welcome to the show. I'm Jen. My guest today is the talented Jacob Beneventi, founder of Limitless Personal Training and transformation extraordinaire trainer. And I'm excited to hear about some of these stories and what you've done in creating Limitless and your approach. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with what Limitless is. I mean, there's a lot of different facilities in town where people can work out.
Yes.
We're seeing more of these different hybrids pop up. So what is your approach, and what is Limitless?
Good question. Well, Limitless, what it means to me and how it started was about when I became a trainer, I wanted something to attach myself to that wasn't me, an idea. So simply put, Limitless is about not settling in life, about expanding on who you can be and always progressing.
I like
As
that.
far as my approach, I think that what was important to me when I started training was the relationship with my client. I figure if you can learn somebody, you know who they are, you know where they come from, you know where they want to go, you can be effective in serving that person.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that's number one. And honestly, I know a lot of trainers. I've talked to a lot of trainers. You actually just said something that resonated with me for the first time when I've talked to someone about really connecting with the person.
Yes.
Because they have to trust you and give of their time and their emotions when it
Yes.
comes to changing their physical self. And so it sounds like you're really taking that approach to connect with people that way.
I think depth over width. It's a business, right? You have to learn the person. It's not my program. It's not my way or the highway,
Yep.
right? Because that's about me, and it's not about me, it's about the person in front of me. That's why we get into business, right? We have a product, we have a belief, we have a service that we feel like is valuable and the world needs it. So as a young entrepreneur, I've had to learn that. You know, doing things like this, just in general, the more you can get out of your own way and give your passion, give your service, give what it is that you have to give to the world, unhindered, that's it.
awesome. That will set you apart for sure.
Yeah.
What do you find the hardest thing for you in training people?
In this last year specifically, last year or two, I learned that not everybody, I think about when I work with somebody or I work with a group of people, we need to be on the same page, we need to meet halfway. If I want your goal for you more than you want your goal, I'm gonna be spinning my wheels and it's not gonna work out and frustration will rise.
Yep.
You have to want your goal, it's your goal. And I have found that sometimes people say that they want something, but I think that proof over time is in action, and that's a challenge in training. I love training, and sometimes you have breakthroughs with people as a trainer. Sometimes somebody can come to you, say they want this, this, and that, but aren't willing to do the work, and it's hard.
Yep.
And you might work with them for a few months and nothing changes, but eventually they get it. And progress is addicting. So sometimes it's just figuring out what is the angle on this individual. I love people. I want to learn them. I don't want to give up on them. But to summarize, the most challenging part is we got to meet halfway.
Yep.
Right.
That makes sense. And then you said once you see that progress, it can be addicting, and then eventually transformations. Do you have a transformation story that stands out to you? I mean, I'm sure you have a lot, but is there one that really is near and dear to you of someone that you've helped on their journey?
Well, everyone's special. And some of them it's not always about the physical, right? That's what we can look at and marvel at. Oh my God, this person went from here to here. But what you don't see are the intangibles. Fitness, I feel like, for me as a rambunctious kid, so I'll pull back a little bit, fitness set the precedent for me it was like my therapy, right? So it gave me an outlet, somebody who didn't excel in the classroom very well, somebody who was just hyperactive. Nowadays, I'd probably be on the meds, but I didn't have that.
Right.
So I had sports, I had training for something, right? So it helped me organize my thoughts. It helped me build confidence. It helped give me structure so that I had, it gave me an outlet. So back to the transformations, I think that you can just see when somebody is in alignment with where they want to go. And most of us are struggling because we fall out of alignment with the person and the actions that we would like to have in our lives.
So So you've probably seen a lot of physical transformations, but what it sounds like is outside of the gym, you've actually seen people's lives outside of the gym, physically outside of the gym, change.
I'll use an example. When I first started and I came out of college, you have to build momentum, right? Some of entrepreneurship is about not quitting. Even if you're not that good at what you do, if you don't quit, you'll eventually be successful. So I remember one of the first clients who I have to this day was a young kid who you have beginner level fitness, right? And then he was below that, okay? So he wasn't physically inclined whatsoever. So we start with baby steps, right? And still working with him to this day. One time he came up to me I took him out to breakfast, and he said, I didn't do this, but he said, I believe in myself now. I went from somebody who didn't know what to do with struggle or challenge to now somebody who looks for challenge as an opportunity to grow, and I seek it out now. And like when he was telling me that, I was holding back tears because I'm like, that's it. That's what I'm doing. It's not about his physical change as much as it is about that. If more people can get that.
Sounds like he built confidence, and then he also trusted himself because he was achieving things that he probably didn't even think he could achieve physically, and that translated in all these other aspects of his life.
Right.
What a reward.
Right.
So do you find time to work out and have balance, or what is your outlet? Is it working out, or do you have to kind of step away from that because you are living in it constantly?
As you probably know, there's 1,000 things that you need to do when you are trying to build something. And the things that you always need to go back to are the foundation. For all of us, in order for me to be mentally and physically sound, it starts with that. It starts with getting up early. It starts with planning out my day. It starts with making time for myself. How am I supposed to give to the world? How am I going to give my energy? And how am I going to teach if I am not living the ethos of what I'm teaching?
No, that's great.
Yeah.
So you've achieved all of these things at such a young age. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So looking back, do you have some advice you'd give your younger self now that you are starting to build your business and achieve some of these milestones?
Yeah, you're never going to have it figured out. There's not one point where, and one of the questions was like, aha moment.
Yeah.
When you figure it out.
Yeah.
The more you realize that anybody can teach you and you can always learn and you don't have to have it all figured out, and it's a lot more confident and it's a lot more, I think, approachable for a client to come up to me and be like, hey, how do I do this? And for me to be like, I have no idea, but I'm going to go research that, than for me to have everything figured out. So just have confidence in what you know and always be willing to learn.
And it keeps you on your toes, like you said, because then you're challenged continually. You don't get complacent, with what you're doing too.
Right.
That's great.
Yes.
So what's your suggestion for someone looking to start a routine? Because I feel like that's always the hardest, is to just take that step and start changing some of your ways and some of your habits. Do you have advice you'd give to someone if they're, really struggling with, taking that step to a better and healthier lifestyle?
Yeah, like you said before, it's about building confidence. And you can't build confidence if you have 100 things in your life you need to change and you try to change 100 things the next day. You might be successful for a week, but you'll fall off. Figure out 1 or 2 things you can do. So, right, if you're living an unhealthy lifestyle and you want to fix your diet, take out soda. But don't just take it out. Go from having 5 sodas a day to having 1. All baby steps. Write it down. Create a clear path. What am I going to do this month? I have 100 pounds I need to lose, but I'm not going to lose it this month. So lose 4. Then what you have is momentum, right? So you need those small wins, and you stack those small wins, builds the confidence within the individual. Once you have that, you can set your sights on higher things. But
I agree with that. I think as human beings, we try to achieve so much, whether that's outside pressures or family or society. But the reality is, especially when it comes to our health and wellness, you want it to be a lifestyle. So that's a great point. Just start with something small. Don't try to do a 180 in your life. And I like the visual of like just stack those small things up and then it becomes something bigger.
Absolutely.
So what's on the horizon for you? You have some projects in the works?
Yeah.
Maybe something with your brand, your shirts, things like that?
You know, I hope that Limitless can be, and I see it as a message that everybody needs to not settle in life, to strive for more. So yeah, I have things I'm working on, but I'm really trying to build on a strong foundation. Sometimes, and I think that a lot of young people fall victim to this, you want to grow so quick that you don't round out your processes. You don't have a strong foundation that you're standing on, and you build from that, it's going to fall. So I'm in a place right now where I'm trying to reel back so that I can continue to scale what I'm currently doing with the personal training, with the online training, with the clothing, all of it.
There's a lot for you ahead. I'm really excited, and you're very wise. So you've listened a lot and probably done a lot of research and talked to people because you're taking all of those nuggets and applying it to what you're doing. So I wish I was that wise at 25.
Thank you so much.
But congratulations,
Appreciate it.
And will you come back and share more
Absolutely.
as you progress?
We are just getting started.
I'm sure next time we have him back, he'll have like 5 more locations and going
right.
smart. But
Yes.
thank you so much. Appreciate it
Thank you for having
you
me.
sharing with us today. Thank you for watching Now with Jen. We'll see you next time.